Good morning and a very warm welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street here in Colombo. And joined here by the veteran journalist and former diplomat, Bandula Jayasekara. Very good morning to you.
Morning, but not as a veteran as you are.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Because Sri Lanka is full of veterans and seniors, so we don't want to be that.
And we are also joined by Dr. Vikramabahu Karunaratne, the leader of the Nava Sama Samaja Party.
Thank you, yes.
And a very good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Tell me, Dr. Vikramabahu, what are the main areas that you concentrate on and on holding this government accountable? What's the main thing?
Main thing is the solution to the national problem,
Right.
the Tamil national problem.
And how far is that off towards solving or resolving?
Well, taking the democratic step that they have taken, they have a clear change in the sense that previous government was on oppressive line. They thought that war is the end of it and did not consider the continuation of the problem and any way of a political solution. But the present government has a completely different attitude. They are prepared to go for a political solution and they don't assume that end of the war or whatever the conclusion is the end of the issue. So they have started on various issues. Firstly, they answer the questions about the war, various criminal aspect of the war. And then secondly, to start a discussion on what kind of devolution and what kind of separation of powers are necessary and changes of the constitution necessary to solve the Tamil national problem.
So,
But most of these people in the previous government are in the present government. You know, they changed or there's reincarnated or what? Suddenly all these people got enlightened. What do you think?
I believe the fact that Ranil Wickremesinghe, who dared to go into a agreement with Prabhakar, agreement, and sign an agreement, and tried to come into a political solution without going into a war. At least it's a great attempt. I believe it's a very positive, and that he becoming the Prime Minister is a great change, and his people who are close to him, and that has influenced the other side as well.
But if you look back, you know, every time there was a ceasefire, LTT strengthened themselves. They regrouped. This is what happened. Of course there were changes at that time, but then even as Chandrika said, she didn't give the approval at that time, and he just went on his own.
He went on a solo misadventure, it appears to me.
No, it is incorrect because with the agreement, Prabhakaran said that he will drop separation and agree to internal self-determination.
That is interim self-governed ISGA.
And then came out with the ISGA.
Yeah.
ISGA, very important document with 26 points. Unfortunately, that document was not translated into Sinhala even today or Tamil. Still only in English. And that shows the attitude taken by people. I don't blame Prime Minister. He was willing to go ahead, but there was an enormous commotion and campaign against him and also for the peace agreement. And Mahinda Rajapaksa and JVP together went to courts And there was this peculiar judge, Supreme Court judge, who Saraswila, who now says that he have done mistakes, gave a judgment and said that nothing can be done.
I'm a bit troubled, Dr. Vikram Babu. Are you suggesting that we split this country to solve this problem?
Split the country?
Yes. Is it,
no.
Why do we need a separate area or separate laws and so on? Make it simple. Tell us why.
No, we are trying to unite two nationalities. We are, consider this way, we have a country, one country, but two nationalities. One is Sinhala, majority nationality, other is Tamil nationality.
Tamil speaking, perhaps.
Tamil speaking,
what about
Tamil nationality. Tamil nationality is there, but there are other complexities within that various subdivisions. But overall, there are two nationalities, and how to get together and how to unite and be one country and one nation. That was the problem from 1940.
So this ISGA that
would have been
what?
Then that
it
would have
was a
given us
self-governing authority of Tamil.
Share the power and unite.
So, quite ostensibly, the people in the East, the Muslims in the East, would also want their little area. They will be carving out this little country.
They can have subdivisions of all that they can discuss with themselves. That's an internal discussion. No?
But we have these provincials.
Basic problem is the problem of two nationalities. We are trying to come together, and from the very beginning, the Tamils said we need a federation, and instead of a federation or federal government, what could be the best? That was what we have been discussing. And then even Prabhakaran came and said, I gave ISGA as a starting point. That is to appoint a government, appoint a regional government by the Colombo government, so that they can work together to move towards unity with power sharing. But unfortunately, the ISGA was just put to the dustbin without taking any action.
Now, I know you're saying this, like, I mean, I discussed this with you to a certain extent in the Sinhala program. You're saying this, but people say that you are a bankrupt politician, right? You never could enter the parliament. Why?
The point is, my ideas are not bankrupt. These are ideas which I got by studying books of Lenin, Marx, and so on. And in fact, the idea of self-determination and nationalities, the research was done by Lenin, and that what he found, some of these are now entrenched in the UN Charter as well, idea of a nationality, and so on. So, on that basis only, this is the way out for this problem.
I'm even more troubled, so I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Dr. Vikram Babu, do you prefer Sri Lanka the way it is now, no war, so you can travel from A to B, and if as long as God doesn't intervene, you're pretty sure that you're going to arrive at B and return back home perhaps? Or do you prefer it when we had Mr. Prabhakaran on the other side, and we had full of security here and all sorts of roadblocks and a war going on, never sure which bomb was going to explode where. Families were traveling in 3 different buses to the same place so that, for security. What do you prefer? Do you prefer that or this?
Shall I say, both humbly, it's a stupid question.
Well, is it so stupid?
You see, we are now after overthrowing a fascistic government who considered the Tamils to be a minority and should be oppressed position. And
so it was wrong that they won the war.
Let me finish.
Well, go on. Well, I mean, this stupid question needs to be answered.
Okay, answer.
Yes.
And we have elected a democratic government which has cleared this dust and started on a different path. And that is why we are able to go to Jaffna and come back, and all these barriers are removed. All things are removed, and we have, because there is a new discussion started to rearrange the constitution.
When did this discussion start?
After January 8th.
So have you missed the point that we won the war before that in 2009?
Yes, but then from the 2010 up to 2015, we were living in a fascistic state under repression. I was living under repression. You were living under repression.
Well, we've got two shots to share with each other. That's true. But the point is, I can't get my head around this thing where you are not answering my question. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer to live with this security issue? Or do you prefer to get in your bus, your car, or whatever you want to, and arrive from A to B? Which do you prefer?
Obviously, I prefer today's situation. I want to stabilize this.
Nothing wrong in that.
Yeah, can stabilize by a discussion with the parties which are interested in this devolution and completing the issue of devolution and unity based on power sharing.
So are you saying that this elusive peace will remain elusive until and unless we devolve power?
Yes.
Only to the... I'm not going to shake hands on that, because I'm all for one country.
One country with two nations.
But what about the Muslims? I'm not holding a brief for them.
Muslims are there.
They speak Tamil too.
Yes, Muslims spread throughout the country. And they are, if they demand a country, they have to demand Sri Lanka as their
you are saying they are more integrated.
They are more integrated. And
so what will happen?
They have not demanded
in this.
They have said only, please don't harass us in our worship of our whatever the religion. Keep our religion out.
So they're only worried about religion.
They are only worried about that.
And the people in the north are worried about a bit more than that.
Yeah. So their demands are very simple.
In your world, in your sort of utopian world, what would happen? Would all the Tamils live in Jaffna? What would happen to Welawata then? It would be barren. There'd be no market there.
Look, this is again.
Is it too simplistic?
Too simplistic and so idiotic. No, people will be living where they want. Obviously, people are attracted to big cities. It's natural for people to come here.
So the best of both worlds.
But then also, when Jaffna become a important city, there will be flood of people. Even the Sinhala people will be going there.
They're going there now.
Even now, yes, they might be. And if when Jaffna University become a world recognized university, half of the people who get the A level will try to go there.
Indeed, yes. But that's human nature.
So that's okay.
But why do they need a separate area? That's the point.
That is because they have a separate language, separate history, separate culture.
But they're quite happy in Colombo.
They are happy because, that is, they are, as long as their nationality is recognized, they will be happier.
Oh, this is all in the quest of happier.
Happier.
Not just happy.
Not just happy.
But now see, for me, I'm all for the Sri Lankan identity. I hate people saying Tamil, Muslim. I say, okay, now if it says Sinhalese, let's say Sinhalese. You must say Sri Lankan Tamil, Sri Lankan Muslim. I'm all for that. Is, I think, what is important. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
We should stand as Sri Lankans.
Yeah. But I like to be Sinhala.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I always like to speak in Sinhala, rather than speaking in English or Tamil or any other language. And I like to read our history, and various things happen, all that. we are happy. I'm happy. So would be any Tamil. They would like to happily think about speaking Tamil and go into their cultural activities and also looking deep into the far past, what happened and how they lived and so on, the Tamil entity. So therefore, let us agree on that. Let us agree of that diversity and then unite.
To find out,
for example.
Sorry, we're going to have to do a break here. We'll come back to you. To find out more about what Dr. Wickramabahu Karunaratne has to say about devolution and other matters, we'll be back after this very short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Newsline. Very good morning, and we have here Dr. Wickramabahu Karunaratne and, of course, Bandula Jayasekara.
Comrade Wickramabahu Karunaratne.
Comrade Wickramabahu. Comrade Wickramabahu, what are you doing about workers' rights?
Well, we are agitating on several issues, particularly the rise of wages for the private sector. The government has taken a step to increase the wages of government sector, but parallel to that, still there is no increase in the private sector, and that is one of the issues, strongest issues.
And what about the people who work in the plantations?
Exactly. It is related to the plantation workers also, because they are in the private sector, basically, and their wages are in a very poor condition, and they are not being, the wages have not been properly integrated into the wages board.
So why are they being kept down?
That's again part of the this national problem. Tamil nationality problem spreads into the estate areas as well. They have been oppressed, and their rights are not being properly gained because of the discrimination.
But I would say they have been oppressed by those plantation leaders, those politicians, whether it's Tondaman or all this. There is a battle.
Tondaman, in spite of his bourgeois nature, he fought for the...
No, I'm talking senior Tondaman, yes.
No, but senior. But later, of course I agree, after the loss of senior Tondaman, there is a vacuum as far as plantation workers are concerned.
And,
and
also coming now, as we are talking of Marxists, in your view, I mean, how is your relationship with your good friend, Comrade Vasu, and who is the best Marxist or best socialist in this country?
Obviously myself.
Why?
There's one thing for you, Comrade Wickramabahu. You're very modest.
No, you can't be modest in this. Now, if you ask a question about politics, you can't be modest. You have to say what your ambitions are and what is the role you are going to play. If no political leader comes into politics without ambition, from that basis,
can you put a finger on the exact moment when you perhaps missed entering Parliament?
He even contested the presidential election.
One election, I got the best performance. It was in...
so which year?
Kandy district. I contested at the United Socialist Alliance.
Right.
And we got nearly 3%.
Is that the closest you came?
Yes.
How many votes were you short by?
Because remember, it was the violent election with the JVP opposition, and I got, I think, nearly 6,000 votes.
How many more would you have needed at
about
that election?
2,000-3,000 more.
So let's not forget that he was a former presidential candidate.
Indeed.
He contested.
Indeed.
No, Kandy, we could have won one person, with a little more votes.
Is that your hometown?
Yes. Kandy means hometown is Pilimatala.
I see.
But don't you think it's tragic that Comrade Bahu hasn't been able to go to the parliament with his colleagues? You know, what I was asking
I think
him...
it would have been a little bit more interesting if he was there.
Yeah, and how come the likes of Veeravansas, the JVP, all these, they get elected to the parliament?
They've sort of waltzed in, if you like. Did they have a better PR machinery? What is it? Why?
Or you don't have enough funds? Or
Now, Vimal Veeramansa, as a Marxist, when he was with the JVP, he didn't get this kind of votes. But once he agitated with the chauvinist Sinhala parties and became a orator for Sinhala majoritism, he could muster some votes. And,
But with all this Sinhala majoritism and all that business, Mahinda Rajapaksa failed in his quest to become president for a third time.
yes, because
Why?
of the upsurge of the democratic people. People realize this fascistic, chauvinist politics is a danger to the country.
How much did the riots in Alutgama and all that,
Yeah,
how much
all that.
did that play?
They played a very significant, because people found that this kind of activities divide the country more than anything else, and people were by our campaigns they were able to get educated.
So do you
about
think
the problem.
do you think the Sinhala majority, the Buddhist majority, were seeking a true middle path?
Yes, they were thinking, they are thinking change into a democratic, like from this fascistic, chauvinist line, they started shifting. Because of our agitation, our campaigns and our explanation, and how we clearly explain to them that way forward is through unity of the people.
now you joined them in their fight, but didn't Maithripala Sirisena or Ranil Wickremesinghe invite you as to get you through the nationalists to the parliament? Didn't they invite you, or didn't they extend a hand to you? Because they've got various other people in the parliament.
Yes,
you were one of the leaders with this
Yes,
movement.
there were indications, but from the very beginning, I have told them that I am coming for a political campaign and not for a place in the parliament, and no, I will be unite with you in such an election and contest together. So therefore, it's clear understanding we had. So they did not press me to get into it. There were others who, second and third rank, people who wanted me to come into their list and then be nominated by the thing, but I refused to accept that.
Maybe you'd have appointed him as the governor of the central bank.
And I never wanted. But I have a position
Yeah.
now at the moment. I have a position in the sense people accept that I am also one of the leaders of this campaign, and
Campaign for change,
campaign for change,
for better.
and
The rainbow
for
revolution, like some
campaign
like
for
to say.
democracy.
How close were you to Soviet terror?
We were together, yes, of course. We started together, and one of the leaders of this campaign.
Heart of hearts, do you regret not ever becoming a member of parliament?
No, I don't, because it's not one of my ambitions in that sense, because I has a greater ambition of a revolution, proletarian revolution, and taking over and going for a world revolution. And
But
so
once upon a time, you want to be the president of this country.
Dr. Vikram Rao, Comrade Vikram Rao, I am so happy that you have been unsuccessful in those efforts.
But once upon a time, you want to be the president of this country. That's what
But
you
you
consider.
don't- you see, the point is,
He had presidential ambitions, not parliamentary
as,
ambitions.
as a ill-educated bourgeois, you think the proletarian revolution is something to do with
It's absolutely unthinkable in this capitalist society that we live in. Sorry.
Okay,
But
okay.
You know why he
we
says that
can't.
he's the most honest Marxist, the socialist?
Why is
he
that?
still goes by bus, whereas everybody else is all the socialists are going by.
So I know you are frightened of the proletarian revolution. This is totally uneducated view of it.
I do hope, I'm quite comfortable with this
Bourgeois
socialist democracy. You call it bourgeois.
So, but we are the
But I
socialist democratic
Okay,
republic.
right.
But
of
I
Sri
want to
Lanka.
tell you this.
Let us improve this thing. Okay, you have a socialist democracy here, but still there are incidences like what happened in Veruela,
Indeed.
and also the issues of not being able to use Tamil language for a long period.
Yeah.
Now it is allowed. And also
your friend was the minister in charge of national language integration.
For some time, yes. And
Good
also
friend.
there was opposition to sing the national song in Tamil.
Yeah.
All these things we have overcome, and we are coming into a better position. So making more democratic, we are going towards socialism. So I would agree to work with that, and that is why I am pressing for the democratic issues.
But how could you sit with these bourgeois people in these committees? The Prime Minister, very bourgeois. How could you sit with him?
He's a rational bourgeois.
My God.
Like my friend Faraz.
My God.
He's very
Like
much
you.
similar to you.
My
thinking.
goodness.
Rational bourgeois.
Rational, that means he's more
But his
intelligent.
actions on the central bank bond issue is irrational. His action on the highway robbery is irrational. His actions with the FCID
Look,
is irrational.
You are going into very, very simple things. I'm interested in resolving the national question of Tamil national question. Secondly, I'm interested in getting a better condition for workers, that means not only urban workers, plantation workers, and also workers.
I'd like to work with you very closely on that, on the plantation workers issue.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous that their salaries are about 12,000 rupees a month. And how they can live on 12,000 rupees a month and live in a 7-by-7 room is beyond me.
Comrade Vikram Bahu doesn't
we
even
have
get a
been
salary.
fighting for this long period, as I told you. During the times of Tondaman, even though he's not a leftist or Marxist, he took some strong efforts, and we were able to move forward. And at that time, we cooperated and worked together. But now, this government gave a better salaries for the government workers, but the issue of wages for the private sector as a whole, and also the plantation sector, has to be taken very seriously, and we have to make a lot of education.
And also opportunity to the children of these plantation workers.
Yes.
I'd like to know how many professionals have emerged from those lines, and how many accountants and doctors and engineers and so on
It's important
have
to do a
emerged.
I know
survey.
from from the engineering section, professionals and engineers, there were in my batch one person who came from
This is 1965.
1965, 1,000 out of 100 people, one was from state office.
In your view, is Mr. Sambandhan the real leader of opposition, or he is the leader of opposition for North and East? How do you see his role?
No. Be respectful. He is quite sensible, not to be acting like a person who's a position for the Tamil people. But he's a larger person. He's taking over the entire issue of opposition for the or the critical opposition for.
That means you say he will speak for Faraz.
I want to ask you.
He has taken up a lot of issues, many issues which have come from the Sinhala Buddhist side, and as leader of the opposition, he has taken steps to forward those to the government.
We're into our last minute. Very quickly, your sort of sympathetic quest to solve this the Tamil issue, is that what has endeared you to the diaspora, the Tamil diaspora abroad?
Yes.
That's why?
That's why what?
Because of your sympathy to this cause.
You're saying
Yes.
he's the darling of the diaspora or something
Indeed,
like that?
that's right, yes.
That's
Is that why you're the darling of the diaspora? Or you
I don't know
were?
whether I'm a darling of diaspora, Tamil-speaking people, not only Tamils, Tamil Muslims, all have, I believe they have some respect for me, because I consistently continued this struggle for a united country with power sharing. And I have been successful in educating other politicians and political elements on this issue.
on this issue, I hope that we gain democracy, full democracy, as one country. But I really don't wish you well in your proletarian, what did you call it?
Proletarian
revolution. That, I'm afraid.
A time to come, you might.
We do. There's always hope. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for having come on our show this morning and shared your views, controversial as they may seem. But thank you very much for coming and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
And we hope to come back again. And Bandhu, thank you very much for being on the network today again. And this little quote from Steve Jobs. That's been one of my mantras: focus and simplicity. Simple can be harder than complex. On that note and on that thought, I shall wish you a very good morning and take care. God bless.